Welcome, everybody. Hopefully you've got an oil and you've rubbed yourself down with it. We're going to get started. You can see my screen too, yeah? Dope. So happy Women's Day, right? It's International Women's Day today. So what better way to spend it with some of my favorite women? We are going to be talking about Helichrysum this evening because I just picked it because I've been using it a lot this week. My son has severs, which is like when your feet plates move during growth and they rub against each other, the growth plates, and it causes severe pain, especially when you're an athlete. So he plays football and he's been in crazy pain this week. So we've been applying Helichrysum and it's been helping, thank goodness. But I'm going to just give a little info on it because it's an awesome oil. It is an herb and it's got narrow silver leaves and flowers that form like a cluster. These are them right there in that picture of golden yellow shaped blossom. And it comes from the Greek word helios, which means sun, and chrysos, which means gold. And that refers to the color of the flower. And it can be used in herbal health practices. It has been since ancient times. It can support so many different things. It sorts from Corsica and Albania, and it takes about 4 pounds of the flower to make a 5 ml bottle. So that's why it's so expensive, but worth every penny. So let's see. For body, it's great for bumps, bruises, or trauma to the body. So like I was watching a video on it and it was talking about how if somebody gets a concussion, it's a really good oil to use along with frankincense. So that was good to know. And if I get it, I bruise really easily. So that's what I use on my bruises. The one that has the fractionated coconut oil already, I just put it on there. It's also great for ears, hearing, and earache. So I've always used tea tree and basil, but I learned that it's also great for ears. Not, of course, dropping it in, but rubbing it around the ear or putting a dot on your cotton swab and putting it in your ear for earache. It's a great liver stimulant. It supports your respiratory system. It is good for sunscreen. So it's not, it doesn't harm you if you have, some oils, it's not good for you to put on in the sun, but this one is actually helpful in the sun. Really supportive for your skin. You can use it for acne scars. It's in a lot of our facial products. It's great for sports injuries and joint pain. Like I said, I've been using it this week for my son's Sever's disease, and it supports proper blood pressure and blood flow. And it's also great for our mind and emotions. I love this book. I'm taking it out again. It's an amazing healer of emotional pain. It aids the walking wounded, those with a history of difficult life circumstances, trauma, self-destruction, loss, or abuse. These individuals need the powerful spiritual support that Helichrysum offers. It gives strength and endurance to the wounded soul who must keep on living despite past difficulties. This oil restores confidence in life and in self, giving individuals strength to carry on. Helichrysum has a powerful relationship with the light of the sun. It shows joy, hope, and hope for living. Helichrysum takes hurt souls by the hand, guiding them through life's difficulties. If individuals can persevere, this oil can take them into new heights of spiritual consciousness. It offers hope that their emotional wounds can be healed. Wow. So supportive for anxiety and panic. like I said, emotional wounding or trauma, promotes security and strength, aids in acute shock from trauma that's mental, emotional, or physical. Use for bitterness of spirit if you're repressed, anger, stubborn, negative attitude. It helps clarify the thought process and opens the mind to new ideas. And it's great in times of transition and assists with accepting change and activates the right side of the brain. This oil can be used topically, you can take it internally, and you can use it. What way did I not say? Topical, internal, and what am I missing?
Aromatic.
Thank you. Aromatically. All right. And then this was, I was watching Oils A to Z, and I thought this was cool because they actually said that this was the roller ball that they created for they equated it with Ho'oponopono, which I thought was cool. So I feel like a lot of us need that right now. So this is an expensive roller ball. It's got rose, frankincense, sandalwood, copaiba, cedarwood, blue tansy, and helichrysum in it, along with yarrow palm. So many good ones. And then apply to your face morning and night while saying to yourself, I'm sorry, forgive me, thank you, I love you. That's the affirmation. Okay. What did we have in the great for nosebleeds? Yep. Very good. That's the blood flow. Burns, blisters, broken bones. Very good. Okay. So, anybody else have anything else? I know, right? 60 I was like, say what? We'll just put like 3. We'll
Well,
give
I'm
them
thinking I might just use rose oil
yeah.
and like cut that by like, you know, a 60 or something. What 60 drops of rose touch? You might as well just dump your whole bottle of rose touch in.
Exactly. Just
What?
add the others to your rose touch. No.
Right.
Okay. So let's see. All right. So today we're talking about restoring commitment. I'm actually just saying this to myself. Liza's going to have to do these things to me after this call. No, I'm kidding. This is her list of to-dos for me. Sometimes it's hard, and we have people in our business who need some support in restoring their commitment. And so I'm just going to go over a few simple things. So, 3 reasons that people might not succeed would either because they don't know what to do, they're overwhelmed, or they're lacking commitment or the desire to do the business. So we're going to talk about those 3 things. So the first one is that they might not know what to do or how to do it. So really important is to educate, and the solution is to train. And there's so many resources. What I kind of went down a rabbit hole when I went to the Empowered Success um, training information, because there's so much there, but it's so good. If you go in there and look, they've got everything you could ever need to support yourself or somebody who's in your business. And we also have a ton of training as our team. Look on our calendar, invite them to things, and keep inviting them. Sometimes they don't come, don't come, don't come, and then all of a sudden they just show up. And we all need reminders. um, so you don't feel bad about reaching out and asking them to come to a Wednesday call or reconnecting in that way. There's so many ways that our team works to train and support everyone. And then also looking at goals. What are we going to do in a month? What are we going to do in 2 months? What about 3 months? So making goals that are attainable and planning it out, because sometimes people just need to have it set out for them. I'm like that. I need to have lists, I need to have checkoff points. That's how I help myself. There's all kinds of guides and things within that Empowered Success tools. I was going to stick it on the chat, but I don't have it open anywhere. But if you just Google Empowered Success Training, it will bring you straight there. Another, yeah, the monthly Empowered Success calls. I love those. Those are really good. They're helpful. Another reason why someone might feel like they aren't committed at the time is because they're overwhelmed or they need to prioritize. We have a lot going on. We have multiple things happening, not just this business. So sometimes we need to simplify. So setting priorities and small goals, SMART goals, if you're a teacher, something that's attainable, that can be broken down daily, weekly, and monthly. And sometimes it's really helpful to identify money-making activities or things you can do, hosting a party, or how are we going to get people on board, actionable items. So, not just talking about what we're going to do, but doing action-oriented things to make ourselves feel like, okay, I did it and something happened and now I'm going to do the next thing. So if we just keep talking about it and planning and never do, that's the problem. And then focusing their time, which it really helps to do time blocking. If you've ever done that, look at your calendar, block off certain amount of time that you can work on your business. And then measuring results together. So what did we want to do within this time period? Did we do it? If not, what can we do next time to make that goal or reach that goal? And again, the guides all have this within them, and there's PDF versions on that Empowered Success. And then the last is lack of commitment and or desire. So solution is obviously to commit. A couple of weeks ago, Ray had done our business portion on the why, and that's exactly what you do. You look at, why am I doing this business? Why did I get started? Can you hear my teenagers yelling in the background? I'm sorry if you can't. My door is closed, my window's closed, but I could still hear them. So if you just listen to what Ray said, but you didn't really think about it and you didn't really decide what is my why, you might want to go back and do that. Or if you're thinking of somebody who you need to talk to, just revisiting why they got started, because that can definitely reignite the flame, and encourage somebody. And then create an environment that encourages self-selection. So you want to be able to know what your why is, what your needs, your wants, and your purpose are, so that you can move on and work through your business and whatever the challenge is, because sometimes, all the time, we have challenges and we have to work through them. So we can support each other to do that. And then last is just some questions to kind of determine if a person is still interested in building. If the interest is no longer there, then you let them go with love, but you keep in touch because they might change their mind. That happens a lot. Some people, go through the ebb and flow, and sometimes they're not at that time committed, but if you keep asking, then they might decide they want to come back. So give them space, but also, check in with your builders to see if they are ready to commit again. So these are some questions that you might start off with. So tell me why you got started with doTERRA. So you want to know what their reason was in the beginning, because whether it's they want to, maybe they have a job that they don't enjoy, they want to make money in a different way, maybe they want to be able to stay home if they're a young mom. maybe they want to support people's, needs in a way that's not, that's good for their bodies. So talking about that why, just like we were talking about earlier, will reconnect them to their original desire and hopefully get them going again. And then once you know the reasons, then you can ask them, okay, well, what's the problem then? What's holding you back? And normally people don't know what's holding them back. If they did, they would be moving forward, right? They wouldn't need to have this conversation. And then at that point, you would offer, okay, well, do you have any other options to solve that problem? If you want to stay home with your kids, is there something else that you're going to do in order to make that happen? And at that point, offering, if you can be successful in the business and accomplish the goal, whatever your goal was, needing more money, staying home, supporting your health, would you want it to happen? And, usually they do, of course. So then you're going to want to, of course, show them that other people are successful in the business and why. And if you can help them to realize and solve their problem through the business, that would hopefully support them in recommitting. But they always have to know from the beginning why they would want to recommit, not just because you asked them to, or not just because um, you know, they just love the product, but there's always got to be more if they're going to be building their business. So, with this in mind, I want you to think about your business, and if you can think of one or two people that you feel like might be in this um, state of mind where they need to restore their commitment. Um, and I want you to just think about it, or you can write it down, however your brain works. I want you to think about what their reason might be. Is it because they don't know what to do? Is it because they're overwhelmed? Or is it because they are just lacking commitment right now? I'm just going to give you like a minute to think about that. So, can anyone think of someone that you don't have to share out loud, just a yes or a no? You don't have to tell us who you're thinking of, but can you think of somebody who you feel like you could connect with over the next week before our next call about their commitment? Just having a conversation about the why, having a conversation about what their reason might be, and supporting them in one simple way. Is that doable? I see thumbs up. I see head nods. Yes, and if you need support, reach out to the person, your person, right? We're always here to support you. Have a mentor call. It's that's like talking with people, talking with your person, that's always helpful. Sometimes we just need to hear. Mentor calls are very important, especially because usually you're creating some sort of actionable item or goal, something you want to work on. Does anybody have anything they want to share? It keeps us accountable. Yep. And it helps to restore customer connections. I like that, Bernice. Just like picking up the phone, because you can't text this. This isn't something you're going to text about. You have to actually contact the person. You have to have a Zoom. You have to have a conversation. You have to have a lunch in order to have this conversation. This isn't something you do over text, or I wouldn't be able to do this over text.
I'll go ahead and share. This past week, it was really kind of funny because there are these people that are on a regular LRP and they live in the mainland, but they come here to visit and they have a place here. And so anyway, we were just talking after church real briefly. I said, well, how are things with you? And his wife, they're on a really big LRP every month, like 200 something points or 200 something dollars every month. And we ended up identifying some other stuff, like trying to get her on the collagen because someone had turned her onto the collagen from Costco. And I went, okay, well, take a look at what's in that collagen, versus our collagen. When you're done with that, I want you to finish it if that's what you want to do. And then just put that on your LRP because it makes sense because you guys are buying it and using the points because he's an avid user of the points. And that was really critical because that makes, he's a real believer of the products, the DDR Prime and turmeric and the deep blue polyphenol. And they get that for him and his wife every month. So now they're going to increase with the collagen. So that was really big for me to just open that conversation.
That's great. And it's true, just talking to people who are customers, even just building those relationships and supporting them in what they might not even know they need yet until you give them the information, right? That's when you think of it as a customer instead of a builder, instead of train, I just think of it as like education, right? Educating them rather than training them. Thanks for sharing. Does anybody else have any?
I'll share. I was meeting with one of my new leaders today, and she was asking a lot of questions about classes because we have a lot on the calendar. So just a reminder, please take advantage of those. But I did, as we were talking, and she was kind of getting into like the nitty gritty, I said, hey, this is really your business. So how you want to educate is up to you. I mean, we all say like lead with education, right? But you can design it and make it work for you in any realm, any place in your life. Like when I had Cody Boy, my educational moments were at the baseball park because that's where my older two boys were. And he literally was on my hip or in my stroller or in the stroller. So those educational moments can happen anywhere. Just take that opportunity because it can happen at the park, at the pool, at the beach, wherever it is. So you don't necessarily be like, I'm going to dive back into my business and I'm going to attend all the classes on the calendar, which is great. But really become creative and design your business to fit you if you're a stay-at-home mom or if you're this crazy working 7 days a week mom or whatever it is, or you're not a mom, maybe you're a fur mom. But just really design it to what works for you. Because I really feel like everyone can do this business because everybody's busy in their own way, shape, or form. So checking back in is something that can be scary, but we want each and every one of you to be with us on this journey. So if you want to like, maybe I want to stick my big toe back in or whatever, reach out to that person, your person that can help you with that.
I want to piggyback off of that just because I really feel, I feel like in the history of our team and how, we always evolve and grow. I think one thing that I pride myself in and our community in more so is that we don't lead with like a high pressure approach, right? And it's really meeting people where they're at. This is your business. You get to decide how fast or slow you go. That's not to say we've never made mistakes in that area, but I do think compared to what else is out there, we are not shoving this business down people's throat, and we want to meet people where they're at. And I love what Kanani shared, because, and actually everything Amanda shared tonight, I want to go back and watch the whole part of Helichrysum. So for those of you guys that jumped on a little later, go back and watch it. It's so good. But just this idea of restoring commitment, like in some way, shape, or form, we can all restore our commitment in different areas of the business, right? And show up in a way that feels good to you, but find a way to show up so that you feel good about the business. Because if you do absolutely nothing, you're not going to feel good about that, right? And really, I mean, even I don't show up in every single way that I want to show up in this business as good as I could. But I think finding ways that you can show up, if that's at the park with all your kids or whatever your circumstances are, that is true and authentic to yourself. You know, if you're on this call, you care about sharing these products with people. If you're here right now, the 19 of us that are on here right now have made that commitment tonight, regardless of if we're doing something else and multitasking or not. We're here because we're committed, right, to these products and sharing them with others. And so find what works for you and know that we are here to support you. But because we take a little bit more of that hands-off approach, that means the power is in your hands to reach out to people to get that support when and where you're ready for it, right? So anyway, great freaking call tonight, Amanda. Thank you. Anybody else?
You want me to share my screen for the last part?
Yeah, sure. And actually, so with kind of jumping off of the topic of events, I just wanted to go over. So next week, okay, so let's go step by step. First of all, this Friday, Kayla Monson, My Well-Oiled Life, I'm sure most of you follow her on Instagram. She and I and Aisha Harley from Visionary Leaders are partnering on a Meta Power Hour. Super informal. We were doing this in the beginning with the Wellness Simplified group, but just getting it together on this Zoom and sharing stories, answering questions, that kind of thing. So the link is in the Facebook group. What the calendar of events and the registration link went out an email. It's in the Meta Magic group. So please feel free to join us. You have to register for actually all these classes on what is March 12th? Is that Sunday? Sunday, Kanan is teaching a Meta Power Metabolic Reset class at 4 p.m. You guys, this is a great class for people interested in Meta Power or that are currently taking Meta Power. Both of these are. Okay, so if you and your customers are interested in Meta Power, if you're on it, join either of these classes. There's the bit.ly for the EIL events, and the Meta Power Hour on the left is on there as well. And then, oh, I'm trying to click my screen. And then next week, Miley has an essential oil Q&A on March 13th. So this is more of an informal conversation where she gets online and shares with people about the products of the month and like the specials, but also opens it up to question and answer, which is really valuable, but open to everyone in our customer base. Then next week, because it's spring break, we're not going to do like a formal team call, but I am going to open up the Zoom room for a Biz Power Hour and question and answer about the business. Starting next month, I'm going to commit to putting at least one business overview back on the calendar every month, as well as that lifestyle overview that I'm doing later on in this month. And we have some other really exciting business opportunity calls and potential ways to attract new builders or re-engage and recommit current builders to the business. So stay tuned for that coming in the next few months. And so, and then last but certainly not least, leadership is coming up. If you have not bought an online ticket, I don't think anybody from our team is going this year. It's in Orlando. I'm actually I'm kind of relieved about it, to be honest, and excited to spend time with my kids over spring break, but then also immerse in leadership. So what Kate and I decided to do was to host some in-person watch party events. I highly encourage you to buy your own leadership ticket. It's super inexpensive. And apparently with a leadership ticket, well, one, you can buy swag. So if that's not enough of a reason, then I don't know what else is. But two, there's going to be some opportunities around sharing programs that are available to start only with people who buy a leadership ticket. So please go ahead and purchase yours. I can't remember what the online one was, but it's inexpensive, maybe like $50 or so. I can't remember. But if you're on Maui, we're hosting live leadership watch parties. So March 16th, the events, 45. Thanks, Kate. The events are in Orlando. So that's Eastern time, right? So we're dealing with, this is going to be a 6-hour time difference, Kate. Now I'm wondering if I calculated the start times correctly. You want to double check that real quick? We might have to make some updates because I might have calculated it. Right now it's daylight savings, but it ends on the 12th or 13th, the 12th, I think. Okay. Anyway, so March 16th, this start time is either 7 a.m. or 8 a.m. for like the general sessions. So please feel free to come to my house. I'll have refreshments and breakfast type food, and we can watch leadership together. Now, please RSVP just so that I can have enough food and know who's coming. Kate, so that is Thursday. Friday, the sessions that are streamed live are limited. There's no general session, it's breakout sessions, and they're not telling us what they're showing. So we're not going to do a live showing together on Friday. And then on Saturday, no, I know it's 5 hours ahead right now, Kanan, but starting March 12th, it goes back to being 6 hours ahead because daylight savings ends. And I can't remember if I calculated this start times based on the 5 hours or the 6 hours. Why does anybody even do this? I don't even know. So Kate is our early bird. So she is going to host a leadership breakfast at her house starting at 5 a.m. on March 18th. If leadership starts actually at 4 a.m., we probably won't go to her house at 4 a.m. But I told her I will show up at 5 a.m., even if it's just she and I. But go ahead and feel free to, roll up a little later in that time and join us. But we would love to have some people join us live for this. Kate, okay.
Sorry, I'm checking the times, but
okay.
It's so confusing.
I'm
not. We'll keep you updated
for that. Yeah, we'll keep you guys updated. I gotta find an agenda for leadership retreat and then double check if I calculated the time change correctly or not. All right. So anyway, anybody have anything else that I forgot that they wanna announce?
I want to share a really easy hack for everybody. If you like rose, like how I like rose oil, when you're done with the bottle, take boiling water and put fill that up with water, boiling water, and then redo that a couple of times. And then you can fill a little spritzer bottle and put it in the refrigerator. It's the most refreshing thing, and it smells pretty strong. And the reason why you do boiling water is because it'll release the oil from the bottle, the interior of the bottle, and then you just put that into another spritzer bottle, and then you do that another time because it's very strong. Whatever's left in that rose oil bottle is really strong, and you can fill the bottle up for a last time, and I still have that, but I like this in my little refrigerator.
So I just found the agenda. So I'm going to have Amy make changes to those graphics because on Thursday it starts at 7 a.m., which is totally doable. So we'll start leadership breakfast retreat at 7 a.m. at my house, and that will go till 11 or 12. Actually, I have to leave at 12 because my kids have passport appointments. Kate's will start at 4 a.m., but I think that's slightly obscene. So we will stay with the 5 a.m. start time. And if anybody
Let's have a sleepover at Kate's.
I think I want to sleep in my own bed, and then I'll roll up to Kate's in my pajamas. Yeah, she might be on her Peloton. All right, everyone. Thank you so much. Amanda, did you have anything else you wanted to share?
Nope,
No?
I don't.
All
Thank
right,
you.
everyone. Well, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Let's go ahead and take a quick pic. Let's see my. You can turn on your cameras. All right. Oh, yay. Look at that. Smile. So good to see some of your faces. Hi, Jen. It's been a hot minute. All right, everyone. Thank you for showing up for yourselves, for your community, for your learning, for your connection. Huge shout out to Amanda. Tonight's call was great. That education on Helichrysum, as well as recommitting to our businesses. And remember, this commitment is yours and yours alone. It's not what someone else is dictating for you. But if you're here tonight, you care about these products and about bringing them into people's homes. So figure out where that fits into your life, and let's go out and share the amazing beauty that doTERRA is. Love all of you. Have a great night, and hope to see you guys next week at Leadership Live on Business Power Hour. Invite to our classes. Night, everybody.
Yes.
Bye.
Good night. Great job, Amanda.